Mic check, mic check. All right, welcome to our Saturday afternoon matchup between your 12UA Raptors and Junior Canes White Team. Raptors coming off of a winning President's Day tournament weekend on Monday. This is their final two exhibition games of the season before we head off to Charlotte next weekend for the playoffs for their division. Team's the number one seed next week. I think we start off playing the Charleston Stingrays. So for the last 2 home games of the season, they need to end it on a high note. Today's starting lineups for your Raptors. You got Oktiabrski and Hollingworth as your D pair. Schroeder at center. Anaya on right, Lane on the left. Coming off of a weekend where Lane, Doss, Anaya, and Waldron all had 5 goals. Schroeder wins it forward. Puck loose in the neutral zone, met there by Lane. Canes try to send it across, and Anaya chips it down. Met there by Anaya, who's able to keep the puck in. He's going to bring it up the right side, pass it over to Lane. Lane's got a nice shot. Oh, and it goes off of the face mask of the goalie. Great opportunity to start off the game for the Raptors there. Anaya tries to send behind the net, met there by Lane. Lane definitely getting his feet back under him. Tries to drag around him. Lane there to meet the puck again. A little bit too far for Anaya. Back to Oktiabrski, chips it forward. We're going to have an offsides. Raptors getting a change. Draw going to come outside of the Kane zone. We got Wolf and Hoover for the pair at D. We got Waldron, McPhee, and Doss on the ice. Waldron wins the draw wide. Wolf races to it and is able to chip it forward up to McPhee. McPhee's going to carry it into the zone. Met there by 2 players. Tied up and back into the neutral. Back to Wolf. Wolf does a nice little pass to send it forward. McPhee makes a nice little chip around, bring it in the zone, but gets tied up again. Puck's still loose. Carried to the neutral zone and dumped down into the corner. Hoover in pursuit behind the net. She picks it up, sends a nice little pitch forward to McPhee. McPhee's going to find Doss on the cross. Trying to find Waldron in the crease and up the middle. Goes off of his stick. McPhee able to keep it into the corner. Canes played around to Waldron. Waldron back down to McPhee. McPhee makes a dump to Waldron. Waldron gets a shot, but they get a stick on it. Doss plays it back over to McPhee. McPhee sends it back to Wolf. Wolf going to send the puck towards the net. Goes right down to Doss. Doss with a shot. A chip goes up over top of the net. Waldron has it down into the corner. And then Doss tied up there. Waldron tries to send the cross into McPhee. The shot. They score! Waldron had the puck in the corner, makes a crosser over to McPhee, and McPhee finds the back of the net with 13 minutes left in the first period. 1-0 Raptors. DiLorenzo, McLean, Felmley, Ethan Anthony, and Logan Robinson on the ice. DiLorenzo with the win. Tries to carry it backward, but stripped there by the Canes player. Trying to take it at Anthony. Anthony keeps it outside. Try to send it over in front. A little bit too far. It's down into the corner. Canes have control. Try to send it over in front. Met there by Felmley. DiLorenzo goes down. Try to carry it forward, and then shot goes up out of play. Draw coming in the Raptors zone. 12:42 left in the first. 1-0 Raptors. Canes win the draw back, and they dump it back down into the corner. Anthony tries to clear, but Quaint can't get it out. The Canes get a chance for it. Puck still loose in front. They use a shoulder on Robinson, and we're going to have a call here coming against the Cane for a roughing. Raptors going to go on the power play. Roughing on the Canes. Draw going to come down in the Cane zone. We got Anaya, Lane, Schroeder, Hollingworth, and Oktyabrsky back on the ice to start the power play. Schroeder takes the draw and wins it. Gets it tied up. Plays it back to Hollingworth. Hollingworth goes D-to-D to Oktyabrsky. Oktyabrsky going to put the puck in the net. Oh, almost made it in the top corner. What a shot. It was just over top of the net. Schroeder scrapping down in the corner. He finds Anaya. Setting up the triangle. Anaya chips it over in front, but it's gloved. Good chance there for Schroeder, but the Canes goalie scoops it with the glove before it could get to Schroeder's stick. Schroeder takes a draw, wins it down to Anaya in the corner. Anaya sends the cross and goes in front right to Lane, a little bit too far between his legs. Plays it in front, the puck's loose in front. Nobody's there to grab it. Canes got a rush coming the other way. Terry the neutral zone. Oktyabrsky keeps it outside and puts a body on it. He's going to be the first to the puck. Plays it right up to Anaya. Anaya plays a nice cross to Schroeder. We got a 2-on-0 going the other way. Lane and Schroeder. Lane forehand, back and forehand. Drifted, good shot, scores! Lighting the lamp is what Lane does. Finds the back of the net, 11:45 left in the first. Power play goal. Waldron, McPhee, Doss, Hoover, and Wolf back on the ice. Waldron wins the draw, goes right to Doss. Doss carries his own, sends the puck a little bit wide of the net. Right to the stick of McPhee. A little bit too far for him. Puck's left there. Goes up into the neutral zone. They chip it forward. Using their speed to gain the line. Meets Hoover there. The shot, score. They find the back of the net. Used their speed to split the D and found the back of the net. Swap out the D pair to Anthony and Robinson. Waldron wins the draw. Waldron gets it back to Anthony. Anthony playing it forward up the boards to McPhee. McPhee makes a nice little chip around. He's going to be able to gain the zone. They're going to have a 3-on-2 entering the zone. McPhee sends it over to Waldron in the front. Oh, Waldron with the tip. The puck's loose in front. Puck's still behind the net. Trying to take it out. Waldron using the speed on the back check. Doesn't quite get there. They're able to make the crosser. Send it over in front of the net. Kick save by Casalito. Puck high and over top of the net and back down into the corner. Played forward by Doss. Can't quite get it out. Tried to play over in front. Goes over the top ahead of Waldron. Oh, it's loose in front to Casalito, and he's on top of it. He's not quite sure where it is, but underneath his leg makes the save. Raptors getting the change. 10:53 left in the first. 2-1 Raptors. Goals by McPhee and Lane. DiLorenzo, Felmley, Yellen, Robinson, and Anthony on the ice. DiLorenzo wins it forward. The Canes players able to keep it in, play it behind the net. Robinson in pursuit, but gets tied up. They're able to play the triangle down low, but met by DiLorenzo. They try to get another opportunity in front. DiLorenzo plays it forward. Loose into the neutral zone. Puck still floating around. Canes play it up with the stick of Robinson. A little bit too long for him. Canes able to dump it in front of the net. DiLorenzo plays the puck there. Chips it forward to Yellen. Yellen able to play it forward. Played forward by the Canes. Met there again by DiLorenzo. They got a 2-on-1 entering the little side zone. Oh, in front. He was open opportunity. Goes a little bit wide. Playing the puck up to Yellen. They're still going to play it high. Yellen plays it back up to Felney. Can't quite clear the zone with a stick left. Able to keep it in. Robinson tries to send it forward, but sends it right into the player. Puck still loose, can't clear the zone. DiLorenzo carries it forward into the neutral zone. Tried to keep out wide, using his speed to gain the outside in the zone. Tries to chip it down into the corner. Yellen in pursuit behind the net. Played forward and kept in by Robinson, but a little bit too long for him. Canes gathering the puck and bringing the zone. They get a 2-on-1, entering on Anthony. They play all across. It goes just a little bit too far behind the Canes player. Anthony ties him up, plays it forward to Felmy. Felmy gets his stick lifted and kept in by the Canes. Sent it right over to the net in the high slot. They dump it down into the corner. Carrying behind the net, Anthony uses his body to pinch him off. Robinson playing it up to DiLorenzo. DiLorenzo makes a drag, able to clear the zone, makes a nice pass up to Felmy. It goes off his stick. Carries into the zone by DiLorenzo. Canes play it out. Nice little chip forward by Schroeder. Raptors in the middle of the change. And I think we're going to have an offsides. I think the ref signaled that he didn't mean to call the offsides, but it happened anyway. On the ice, Hollingworth, Oktyabrsky, Schroeder, and Ian Lane. Canes win the draw, but met there by Schroeder's stick. Able to play it back. Off Oktyabrsky's stick. Canes enter the zone. Oktyabrsky uses speed to keep him outside. Played behind the net. Still a nice clean play. They have the puck in front. Tied up there by Hollingworth. Hollingworth's able to get it forward to Anaya. Anaya's going to make a nice forward to Lane. A little bit too far behind his stick. Puck caroms down into the zone. Trying to clear, goes right to the stick of Lane. Lane bringing it down deep, carrying it behind the net. He's got Schroeder and Anaya in front. Carrying it wide. Sends it out, sends it to the puck on the net. Doesn't make it through traffic. Chip forward there by Anaya to Schroeder. Schroeder couldn't get the backhand on the net. Schroeder still has the puck, trying to play it out to Oktyabrsky. Gets tied up there. Send it back into traffic. Puck still loose. Lane keeps it in. Canes able to chip it out, but Oktyabrsky's there to get it. Tries to play it forward, but intercepted by the Canes. Oktyabrsky recovers and played it forward to Anaya. Anaya chips it forward. He's going to be able to hit Schroeder. Schroeder might have a chance for a shot here on the right side. Makes a drag. Puck's chipped outside by the Canes defender. Trying to carry it up into the zone. Gets a stick on it, but able to clear it out. Got a 2-on-1. Makes a sweep around Anaya. Lane and Schroeder switching out for Waldron. And McPhee coming on the ice. Canes still have the puck behind the net. Canes player goes down. They got the puck right there. They go off the stick. Goes off of the helmet of Casalito. Waldron has the puck in the corner, able to clear it up to McPhee. McPhee's going to carry it out of the zone. Going to have to use their speed today. The Canes are bringing the juice. Hollingworth tries to play it forward, but McPhee couldn't quite get to it. Tried to play it in, goes off of Hollingworth. The Doss chips a nice little chip up to McPhee. Going to have to use their speed to gain the zone, try to make a drag, but can't quite get to it. Played up for the Canes player, going to carry it forward into the zone. Met there by Wolf. They get around Wolf. Send the shot that goes on the net. Kick save Casalito. Aldrin ties it up behind the net and sends it over in the dead zone up to McPhee. McPhee tries to play it forward but gets tied up. He sends it out and able to clear the zone back into the neutral zone. Doss pursuing forward, try to send it down, goes to the stick of McPhee. Aldrin's got it. Throws it back to Wolf. Waldron loses his stick. Goes up to Doss. Rough Doss up to get the puck. It's tied up here along the boards. Play it down to Hoover. Hoover sends it forward to McPhee. McPhee makes a drag, but he's got two people on him. Able to keep the puck. Chip back into the neutral zone. So far the Canes, once they scored that goal, kind of turned this momentum here. McPhee's carrying it forward with Doss to get a 2-on-2 to enter the zone. McPhee decides to carry it wide and down low. Has the puck there. Took a long time to make the decision. Puck goes to Waldron, goes to Doss. Waldron with the backhand, the shot. Oh, it goes in the leg. Leg save. Waldron still carrying it in. Sends it up to, tries to send it back to McPhee, but there's too much of a wobbly pass for McPhee to get a shot off. Hoover tries to play it back. Puck still loose, down into the corner. Tied up there by Hoover and Waldron. Waldron carries it. They bring it up out of the zone. Carries it up to McPhee, goes off the stick of McPhee. Gotta have those passes, boys. Come on, you got all open ice and we're carrying it behind the net. Goodness. Wolf carries it behind the net. Does it send it forward to DiLorenzo? Goes off DiLorenzo's stick. So far, our boys can't handle a pass today. Getting their stick lifted. Canes got the puck and are able to clear the zone. Ready to carry forward. Puck goes down into the corner for Wolf. Wolf gets tied up in the dead zone. Canes able to come up with a puck and a shot. Still over on the side of the net. Whistle goes. Castellito with the cover. Raptors gotten a little bit on their heels the past few minutes here. We got 5:18 left in the first. 2-1 Raptors. Draw tied up there at center. Canes get the puck and send a shot that doesn't quite make it to the net. Anthony puts a body on him and keeps the puck down into the corner. Try to send a crosser. Oh, Castellito uses a stick to poke it forward. Can't get it forward to McLam. Oh, the puck's loose in front. Going to get a shot off and they score. Nine out of 10 times when we can't clear the puck, that's when the goals are coming. Raptors getting a line change. They're bringing on Schroeder and Nia Lane. Robinson and Anthony staying on. Schroeder wins the draw forward and carries it himself into the zone. Using his speed. Brings it up, tries to send a crosser to Lane. The puck goes right on the net and saved by the goalie. Lane tries to swing it around the boards. It does. Makes it over to Schroeder. Schroeder back to Lane, but it goes a little bit too far for his backhand. Puck carried forward by the Canes. Able to gain the... Oh, it was a little bit too far for their stick. Puck goes down into the corner. Puck was tipped, so there's going to be no ice. Anthony tied up in the corner. Anthony uses his body, but they drag around, have another chance and an opportunity. They have the shot, and they score! A couple of lazy plays are costing them here early. Aldrin wins the draw, gets it right back over to Hollingworth. Hollingworth playing it forward to McPhee. McPhee carrying it into the zone, gets a shot that goes a little bit wide of the net. Trying to get into the zone, but Akiabrski gets a stick on it. Aldrin tried for a stick on it, but gets a chip. Canes carrying it into the zone, goes down into the dead zone, into the corner. Waldron fans on the pass forward, met there by Hollingworth. Goes to the Canes player, they try to dribble it behind the net. Hollingworth gets a body on it to carry it. Has to play it along the boards up to Doss. Akiabrski uses the speed to carry it forward. He's going to help him gain the zone. Speed up the side, but loses a chance. Able to get the zone, but tied up there. Puck still loose and kicked back out. Carried forward by the Canes, but it comes to Hollingworth. Hollingworth chips it forward. Goes to Doss. They're catching the Canes in the middle of a chain, so they're going to have some traffic when they get into the zone. Doss brings it in to put the puck on the net. It's kicked wide. Goes to the stick of Waldron. Waldron carrying down to the corner. Sends one over and goes off to the side of the net. Canes play it forward. That's going to come back as an ice. Castellito decides to touch it instead of the icing. What are we doing here? Waldron comes over to chip back at it for Doss. Doss tries to clear and he's able to do it. Just gets it out of the zone. Chips it forward. Raptors are going to try to make a change. Doss sends it forward to McPhee. McPhee makes a drag. So puck loose in the neutral zone. Waldron gets the puck. Try to send it up to McPhee. Doesn't quite reach it there. Comes back to Wolf. Wolf can't clear it off of the fan backhand. Chipped it right back behind the net. Canes try to send a crosser. Goes off the stick of Wolf. Does a good job poking it down into the corner and tied up there. Able to clear the zone. I don't think it touched anybody. Oh, ref calls it clear. Felmley using his speed to get down into the corner. In pursuit there. Is able to pick the puck up. There's a loose in front of the net. The puck is there, but nobody was there to try to chip at it. Canes able to send it forward. Went off the stick of DiLorenzo. Carrying it into the neutral zone. Hoover there to meet him to chip it up. Can't quite get it out, and they send it back down behind the net to Wolf. Puck still down in the corner. Wolf gets there, plays the body and misses the puck. Puck still loose in front of the net. Still tied up. They're going to get another chance to try to send the puck in front. We got a penalty coming up here to somebody. See the ref's hand up. See who touches it in the whistle. Nope, it's going to be a penalty coming up here to the Raptors. Raptors touch it. Penalty coming to 94, Christian Wolf. Getting a roughing call. Raptors penalty kill coming on the ice. 1:46 left in the second. Bit of an interesting call considering everybody's been hitting along the boards just fine and they bump each other out front and one goes down and you get the call. You got Waldron, DiLorenzo, Oktiabrski, and Anthony on the ice. Got to bring some muscle. Waldron wins it. Gets it to Oktiabrski. He's able to clear it up the boards. To DiLorenzo. DiLorenzo chips it to be able to clear it. He's got Waldron in pursuit. If Waldron can use his speed to chip the puck forward. Try to tie it up. Played back into the neutral zone to Anthony. Anthony sends it forward. Nice play to keep him from gathering it. Waldron and DiLorenzo. Canes clear it down into the corner. Anthony meets the puck there. Can't quite get it out, and the dribbling over here in front, but it's able to come out and clear the zone. Canes send it back in for an offsides. Draw going to come just outside the Raptor zone. 1:14 left in the first. 59 seconds left in the penalty. Waldron wins the draw. However, it goes back into the zone. Oktiabrski's chasing it back down into the corner. He's able to send it forward. Canes try to keep it in, and they're able to. Met there by DiLorenzo. Goes off the stick of Oktiabrski and goes over to Waldron. Waldron's able to chip it far enough to clear the zone. DiLorenzo ties it up there at center. 39 seconds left on the penalty kill. Goes to Oktiabrski. Going to do a nice little clear across the ice into the neutral zone. Good job keeping the puck out. Canes able to re-renter. Sweep around Anthony. Get a chance for a shot that goes over top of the net. Goes the stick of DiLorenzo. DiLorenzo tries to clears it out. Can't quite get it out. Bringing it down, the shot on Casalito. I think he's got it in his glove. Not sure where that ended up. Whistle goes. 18 seconds left in the penalty kill. Swap out DiLorenzo and Waldron for Anaya and Lane. Oktiabrski and Anthony stay on as the D pair. 33 seconds left in the period. 3-2 Canes. Anaya wins the draw but pushes it forward. Can't quite clear the zone with it. Canes still gathering with a shot. It goes off of the leg pad of Casalito. Oh, off the bar. They send it back in. Draw coming inside the Raptor zone. 7 seconds left on the penalty kill. 23 seconds left in the period. Anaya ties it up on the draw. Goes down into the corner. Goes to Oktiabrski. He's going to use his juice to swing it around. Doesn't quite clear the zone. Canes dump it back behind the net. Wolf's out of the box. Back to 5-on-5. Anthony sends it forward. Couldn't quite clear the zone, but then Anaya is able to clear the zone over. It goes off the skate of Lane. 2 seconds. 1 second. That's the end of the period. The end of the first. We got Canes 3, Raptors 2. Raptors came out with some fire and energy, and then that decimated after Canes put one in the net. Canes got some momentum and kept it all the way to the end of the period. Start of the second, we got Schroeder, Lane, Anaya, Hoover, and Wolf is the D pair. Casalito in the net. wins the draw, carries it behind Lane. Tries to carry it into the zone, doesn't quite get there. I think the head will come back out to send it back in. Lane tries to send it in, but it goes off the leg pad of the Canes player. They're carrying it into the neutral zone. Try to dump it, but it goes to the stick of Wolf. Wolf's able to play a nice floater up the center to clear the zone. Canes dump it back down. I think we're going to have an offsides call coming here. 14:37 left in the second. Period. Okay, Canes win the draw. They tie it up at center. Try to carry it out of the neutral zone, but Schroeder uses speed to cut between them. Schroeder gains the outside edge. Walks it in by himself with a backhand. It gets a shot on the net and covered by the goalie. Draw coming in the Cane zone, 14:20 left in the second. Schroeder wins the draw over to Lane. Lane tries to chip it back to Hoover, but it goes around the outside of her stick. Not her fault on that one. Uses her speed to get up into the zone. Makes a nice little play forward to Anaya. Anaya gets tied up here. Canes bringing it down in to make a nice little cross pass. Lane gets a stick on it. The Canes shooting, it goes wide. It's over to Wolf. Wolf fans on the clear, and the puck goes in front, but Hoover's stick is there. Canes chip it out from Schroeder. Goes back down to Hoover. Hoover tries to play it forward. Schroeder tries to play it forward again. Still kept in by the Canes. Canes fan on the shot forward to the stick of Wolf. Wolf does a nice floater up into the neutral zone. Canes able to connect on it wide. Pucks seem to be going their way right this second. To gather in the zone, they're bringing it in. And now he gets a stick on it. Always an opportunity for Lane to get up. Lane does a nice little saucer up here to Schroeder. Goes a little bit behind him. Canes player gathers it and sends it forward. It's into the neutral zone, right to the stick of Wolf. Wolf tries to chip it back, but it goes right to the Canes player. They're going to be able to enter the zone with a 3-on-2 speed. Oh, the shot goes off of Wolf's shoulder and over to the glove of Consolito. Puck came to Hoover. Hoover tried to clear, but kept in by the Canes player. It's back to Wolf behind the boards. Raptors going to make a change. Wolf does a floater forward. Doesn't quite make it out of the zone. Waldron takes a swipe at it, but can't quite get it. Waldron plays it forward to Doss. Doss a little chipper forward to McPhee, but just can't quite get enough on it. Waldron cuts through and grabs the puck, sends it up along the boards to McPhee. A little too long for him. Left this side of the ice wide open. Canes play the ping over here. Canes able to clear just inside the red line to send it behind for no icing. Puck tied up by Hoover. Waldron comes free with it. Waldron able to clear the zone, get it up to McPhee. McPhee's going to have a chance with Doss here for a 2-on-1 to enter the zone. Brings into the high circle. McPhee over to Doss. Oh, and he fanned on the shot to go into the net. Good opportunity there. Good chance by McPhee on the crosser. Plays it back into the zone. Not there by Hoover. Hoover carries it outside but gets tied up. Puck over in front, goes off the stick of Waldron. Hollingworth ties it up. Waldron ties it up again. Plays it forward to Doss. Can't quite get it out. Waldron gets it here. Sends a nice little dot. Tries to play it up along the boards. Able to clear it out. But dumped back in by the Canes for an offsides. Draw going to come just outside of the Raptor zone. We got 11:59 left in the second. 3-2 Canes. Canes win the draw. Dump it down into the corner. Hollingworth chases it behind the net. Gets tied up there. We're able to play it around to Oktiabrski. Oktiabrski plays it up to Yellen. Yellen gets tied up at the point. The shot goes over top of the net and dumped back down in by the Canes. Canes try to send the puck on the net, but it goes off the stick of Hollingworth and played it right in front. Can't clear the puck, and it goes off the side of Casolito and into the net. Canes 4, Raptors 2. Canes Canes win the draw. Try to dump it in. Said it was clear. Somebody touched it. Hollingworth trying to play it forward. Was able to play it forward, but kept in by the Canes. Chipped out by DiLorenzo. Canes try to play it back in. And they do. DiLorenzo gets a stick on it. Goes down, but gets it up to Yellen. Yellen able to pin it down deep. Felmley chasing it down behind the net. Canes try to clear it out. Can't quite get it there. Oktyabrsky able to keep it in. Chips it back down to the stick of Yellen. Yellen tries for the crosser, and it's hopped on by the goalie. Draw for DiLorenzo, going to come down inside of the the Cane zone. 11:02 left in the second. Raptors down 2. Canes win the draw. They want it back towards their net, able to play it back to their other D, who swings it around the boards. Oktyabrsky gets a stick on it. Can't quite keep it in. Goes off of his skate and played forward. Canes player bringing it in on Hollingworth one-on-one. They take a shot that goes wide of the net. Picked up by DiLorenzo behind the net. Carried forward. Tried to play it forward to Femley, but telegraphed his pass and couldn't get it to him. Shot there by the Canes that went wide of the net. Repicked back up by DiLorenzo, who loses the handle on it. Goes to the stick of Hollingworth and a little bit wide. Tried to play forward by Oktyabrsky, goes off the stick of DiLorenzo. Oktyabrsky's going to carry the zone. We're going to have some numbers going the other way if he can get around him. He's able to get around down into the corner. Tried for the crosser and it wasn't quite there. Puck back over here and along the boards. Canes able to clear into the neutral zone. Hollingworth steps up to chip it back down in. Canes able to play it forward. They make a nice stretch. They got a 2-on-1 to enter the zone, and Oktyabrsky, they try to send a cross pass and nobody was there. Play it back over in front, and it goes wide. Canes play a slapper at Cosolito, goes off his leg. He's definitely not very awake today. Sending it behind the net to the Canes player. Oktyabrsky's trying to tangle him up. Goes out to the point. Goes to Oktyabrsky's stick. He just plays it forward, dumps it down into the corner, and it's going to be an ice. Puck's coming back. Raptors going to get a change. On the ice comes Schroeder, Lane, Anaya, Anthony, and Robinson. Raptors need to get a spark going here. 9:34 left in the second. Down 4-2. Canes win the draw, but it goes back to the stick of Anaya. Anaya tries to play it forward, goes just a little bit long. Not going to make it down into the corner, it's clear. Anaya pursuing it behind the net. Canes try to carry it in, but they lose the puck. Goes right to Anaya. Anaya sends it back around the net. Lane's able to come down for it. Chips it back down to Anaya. Anaya's behind the net, back to Lane. Setting up the triangle. Lane sends it back around, but nobody's there. Schroeder in pursuit, gets a stick lift. Ends up coming up with the puck. He's got it in the corner, tries for a cross, doesn't make these. Schroeder still got the puck, tries for the corner. Gets it over to Anaya, to Lane. Anaya's shot goes over top of the net. Canes gather it and send it forward. They've got some speed entering the neutral zone. Going to carry it into the zone as a 2-on-1. They sweep around Anthony, but it goes wide. Puck down into the corner. Nobody there to meet him. They play it right over in front. The puck's loose. Schroeder comes through to gather it. Schroeder going to use some speed to go the other way. He's got an eye on Lane with him. Sends it over to Lane. Lane enters the zone. Tries to drag back for a shot and get it back over to Schroeder. Can't quite get it. Puck's leaked back to center. Anthony tries to send it back forward to Anaya. The puck gets tangled up. Anaya comes through. He's going to send it deep. Puck goes on the net. Raptors in the middle of a change. Raptors going to send it forward and will most likely be coming back for an icing. Whistle blows. Draw going to come down inside of the Cane zone. 8:25 left in the second. On the ice, we got McPhee, Doss, Waldron, Hoover, and Wolf. Who's going to be the spark that gets it going? Somebody's got to step up. Waldron wins the draw, tries to send it back to Wolf, but goes between them. They got two Canes in pursuit right on their tail. Canes able to come up with the puck behind the net. Try to send it in front, doesn't quite make it through. But the puck's still loose there, dribbled in front off the stick of Wolf and Hoover. Wolf ties it up, but it's still clearly behind the net by the Canes. Waldron tries, but a little bit too long. Hoover's able to gather and try to play it forward to McPhee. Able to play it forward, sends it forward to Waldron, goes off of the pad of Waldron. Waldron's going to enter the zone. Tries for the shot that gets broken up. Goes back down into the corner. Hoover's there to keep it in. But gets tied up. Played back out by the Canes. Carried forward by McPhee. Met there by the Canes player. McPhee ties it up again. He's trying to play it into the zone. Gathered back by the Canes and cleared. Played inside for an offside. .7:32 left in the second. DiLorenzo going to take the draw just outside of the Cane zone along with Yellen and McLam. Oktyabrsky and Hollingworth. DiLorenzo wins it forward, but the Canes able to gather and play it out. Oktyabrsky sends it forward to McLam, has his pocket picked. Goes over to DiLorenzo. DiLorenzo dumps. Back behind the net for the Canes. Canes make a drag to pull it forward. Able to carry it forward into the neutral zone. They gather the zone with the puck. It's looped over in front of the net. DiLorenzo sweeps it up and sends it forward. No Wyson on the call. Canes play the puck. Able to gather forward and play it forward into the neutral zone. Goes off the Canes stick into DiLorenzo. DiLorenzo's stick can't quite handle it either. Played forward by the Canes. Goes wide of the net. Oktyabrsky goes down into the corner. The Canes got some numbers here in front. Carrying it behind the net. Sends it a little bit wide. Try to send a slap shot on the net, but it goes down into the corner. Oktyabrsky's got it in the corner. He's going to carry it forward. They got a few numbers coming into the zone. They got a 3-on-2. Oktyabrsky brings it to the center, carries it back out to center. Going to dump it down in. We're going to have an offsides. Sloppy play costing the Raptors early. 6:22 left in the second. Draw coming out to center for Schroeder. Anaya Lane, Robinson, and Anthony. Schroeder wins it, plays it forward. Canes try to play it forward. Goes to the stick of Anaya. Anaya gets his feet moving and gains the zone. Tries to send a crosser over to Schroeder. Oh, it goes a little bit far behind him. Canes try to clear it back out to center. Met there by Anthony. Anthony able to chip it down into Schroeder. Schroeder's got a little bit of space. Sends it over to Anaya off the stick. Good play there by the defenseman. Lane plays the back check. Able to tie it up at center. Brought back in by Schroeder. Clears the zone. Tries to play across to Anaya off the skate. Schroeder gathers it again. Tries to bring it in front. Goes off the side of the net and tied up there by the Canes player. Able to send it forward. They're going to have some speed coming the other way. Tape-to-tape pass, able to make a draw around Robinson. Anthony's there, but the shot comes. Saved by Cosolito off the mask. Puck still loose in front. Another save by Cosolito. The puck's loose, and they ram it home. Raptors taking their time out. 5-2. 5:33 left in the second. It's going to get away quick if they don't. There's nothing meaningless.
So you're gonna be in a deer stand tomorrow before
Gonna be here at like 5:15 tomorrow. cutting through everybody. Raptors coming out of the timeout. We got 5:33 left in the second. Medlin coming in for Casalito. Not all Casalito's fault. The defense has been getting carved. The Raptors offense hasn't been able to carry the puck. See what happens here. Canes win the draw, run it right back into the zone. Waldron plays it forward, goes off the stick, gathered by the Canes. They're able to dump it down into the zone. Over to Wolf. Wolf carrying it behind the net. It's tangled up. If you'd worry about passing it instead of carrying it every time, I'd have a chance to get it out. Gets it over to McPhee, gets dragged. They just send it over in front of the net. Waldron gets tied up. Canes make a shot that goes wide of Medlin. And send it up to Doss. Doss tried to clear the zone. Can't able quite to get it out. Puck still floating on the line. There you go. Doss carries into the neutral zone. He's got Waldron and McPhee with him. Decides to dump it on the net and it goes wide. Try to carry it down into the corner. They try to clear it up. Hoover gets it there. Hoover sends it back down to Doss. A little bit of a wobbler. Makes it over behind the net. Waldron in pursuit behind the net. He gathers it down into the corner. He sends a crosser towards Doss. It doesn't make a shot. Canes able to easily gather the puck and send it forward. Luckily goes off of the skate of them over to Wolf. Wolf with a punch turn sends it forward. Able to get to Doss. Doss able to send it forward. McPhee picks it up and is going to gather back into the zone. Does a little drag to pull it back. McPhee with a chance with a shot goes right off of the defenseman. Wolf does a good job of keeping it in. Keeps it to Waldron. Waldron sends it forward. Goes behind the net. McPhee meets him there. Goes right to the stick of Hoover. Hoover plays into the neutral zone. She does a leaker over to Wolf. Luckily, it gets there in time. Puck's played up to Waldron. Waldron going to gain the zone. Brings it up here in front. Waldron with a shot that they get a stick on. Goes over top of the net. Canes try to clear. Comes to the stick of Hoover. Tries to send it back into the slot, but gets tied up there. Canes going to carry it forward. They got a 4-on-2 coming the other way. Make a sweep around Wolf, bring it in high. The nice little dribbler in front. Medlin puts a cover on it, able to stop the play. Casalito coming back in. 3:29 left in the second. Draw one there by the Canes, but Felmley splits them and able to carry it forward. Sends it up for McLam. Is able to find McLam. McLam carries his own. Puts the puck out a little bit too wide for the stick of Felmley. Felmley's got it down into the corner. Tries for the crosser to Di Lorenzo, but it gets intercepted by the defenseman. Back to Di Lorenzo, gets tied up. Canes able to clear. Comes to the stick of Hollingworth. Hollingworth chips it forward. Canes send it back out. Hollingworth able to play it forward. Off the stick of the Canes player and over to Oktiabrski. Oktiabrski sends it up to the neutral zone. Carried forward by Di Lorenzo, but can't keep it on his stick. Canes try to bling it into the zone off Oktiabrski's hand. Canes able to clear it in front. Couldn't get a shot off. Canes have it at the point. Dump it on the net. Off of the leg pad of Casalito. Cleared it forward to McLam. McLam's able to chip it down the ice. It's going to roll. And going to be sticking down in there for, the Canes player catches up to it. Just before the icing got there, over to McLam. McLam tries to keep it in. Goes to the Canes player who's carrying it forward. Carrying it into the neutral zone. Raptors making a change. Raptors carrying it down in, and that's saved by Casalito. Di Lorenzo plays it forward to McLam. Gets around McLam's stick. Canes playing it back forward. They gather the zone, and Oktiabrski takes a swipe at it, but didn't quite get it. Anaya's able to poke it forward. McLam chips it back into the neutral zone. Over to Oktiabrski, who plays it up the ice, able to clear the zone to Anaya. Anaya carries. The Raptors in the middle of making a change. McLam does a good job of waiting before he makes a change, for the puck goes into the zone. Way back to Anaya. Anaya plays it down into the corner, but nobody's there. Raptors going to be in the middle of a change. Schroeder comes out off the bench. Kane's flying forward, trying to take it at Oktyabrsky. They get around him. And again into the middle, they're going to get a chance for the shot that goes wide. Comes to Schroeder. Schroeder gets tied up. Can't get it out of the zone. Kane's able to dump it back down into the corner. No traffic in the corner. Oktyabrsky gets a stick on it. The puck's still loose over by Casalito. Schroeder picks it up and sends it to Lane. Lane goes forward to Anaya, but a stick's right there. Lane's going to use his speed to sweep around and grab it. Oh, and he leaves the puck at center ice. Can't quite get to it. Kane's able to carry it back into the zone. Try to send it in front, and Oktyabrsky's there. As he get it to Lane, goes off the stick of Schroeder. Too far for him. Oktyabrsky ties it up into the neutral zone. He's going to carry it forward around the outside. He might get a chance for a shot. Oh, it goes just off of the goalie's pad. Try to clear it out, and they're able to. Goes over the legs of Hollingworth. Lane uses his speed to get back to the puck. Kane's trying to do it, and they're gathered to keep it in. Hollingworth gets it and chips it forward. Able to chip it down the ice. No icing on this one. Kane's gathering it behind the net. 3 seconds left in the second. Kane's going to dump it out. The horn's going to sound. Pretty lazy effort all around here by the boys today. Going to have one more period to bring it back. Canes 5, Raptors 2. On the ice to start the third period for the final 15 minutes. We got Waldron, McPhee, Doss, Anthony, and Robinson. Kane's able to win the draw. Send it back. They're able to carry it forward. Waldron gets a stick on it, but they're able to dump it down to Robinson. Robinson tries to clear. Can't get it out. Canes play it back down into the corner. Carried behind the net, and the puck's loose in front. Canes player plays it wide. Robinson trying to get it up to Doss. Doss just zings it towards the middle. Going to get an offsides call. The draw will come just outside the Raptor zone. 14:34 left in the third. Canes 5, Raptors 2. Come on, Reed! Canes win the draw back to center. Able to clear it down into the zone. Met there by Anthony. He's able to chip it forward towards McPhee. Met there by Waldron. Waldron plays it forward. He's able to carry it. Makes a sweep to get into the zone. Gains that right side. Tries for the crosser that goes over in front of the net. Goes over to Doss. Doss tries to get it back down. Gets it down to Waldron. Waldron carrying it into the high slot. Tries to find somebody down in front, but nobody's there. Goes along the boards to McPhee. McPhee's able to keep it in. The Canes player goes down. Canes send it over here in front. Robinson got to get the puck, and he's able to wake up and send it down along the boards. Doss tying it up along the corner. Doss able to leak it free. It's going to go down in behind the net. Goes right to Waldron. Waldron with a chance in front, but can't get a stick on it. Canes able to get it and zing it down the ice. This will be coming back for an icing. Raptors going to make a change. 13:41 left in the third. You got Yellen, DiLorenzo, Felmley, Hoover, and Wolf coming on the ice. able to win the draw. Send it back to the neutral zone. Wolf gets a stick on it. Able to play it forward up to Felmley. Felmley dumps it down into the corner. Yellen in pursuit behind the net. Lorenzo and Yellen able to keep it in. Yellen comes up with possession, going to send a nice little cross, and it goes off of the stick. Oh, that was in the crease of the shot by Felmley. Covered up by the goalie. They get a little rough with Felmley, and Yellen comes on in to say what's going on. No call coming here. Good little crosser by Yellen to Felmley. Couldn't quite get the finishing play. Good save by the goalie. Lorenzo going to take the draw with 13-17 left in the third. Lorenzo wins it over to Yellen, gets under stick. Yellen gets a shot off and it goes off the pad. Trying to clear and they're able to. They're able to leak it out for a 2-on-1. Wolf turns around, gets a nice stick on it to push it back outside. Good play there by Wolf. Lorenzo able to play it back into the neutral zone and tie it up. Kane's able to walk it back in. They got Wolf and Hoover on the backside. The puck goes right on the net and kicked wide by Casalito. Tied up in the corner by Wolf. Canes gather it behind the net and still have wide open chance over there in front. They play it in front. Goes off the save by Casalito. Played back over towards Felmley. Kept in by the Canes. Off the pad of Wolf. Wolf ties it up into the corner. Canes try to clear. Get down to DiLorenzo. DiLorenzo back up the boards to Felmley. Felmley chips it forward. The Canes are able to keep it in and send it right down to the player in front of the net. Wolf pushes it back. Gets it over to DiLorenzo, who tries to sweep and goes down. Puck is underneath DiLorenzo. It's tied up. Sees it under him. He plays the hand pass. It goes down to the corner. A shot goes over in front of the net by the Canes. Play it into the high zone. They send a shot on the net. Goes off of Hoover's stick, and the puck's loose over there in front, and they find the back of the net. Canes 6, Raptors 2, 12 minutes and 6 seconds left in the third. Schroeder wins the draw forward. They're gathered by the Canes and played right back down into the zone. Big difference when they're carrying the puck everywhere. The Raptors aren't carrying anything. Try to play it up over the top of the net, but it goes off the back. Okyabrski tries to play forward, can't clear it. Hollingworth lost his stick. I think it's stuck down there in the dead zone. And then where the Zamboni comes out, goes to the stick of Okyabrski, lazily tries to play it down into the corner. Try to clear it back to the center. They got Lane and I in pursuit down here if we can get a stick on the puck. Canes try to gather and play it forward. They're able to send it out and they clear it into the zone, get it around Schroeder. Play it back the other way. Enter in the zone. They weave through everybody. Okyabrski gets a body on it and Casalito kicks it wide. Try to play it back in front. The puck's still loose. Okyabrski comes up with it. Try to play it forward to get it to Anaya. It does go off of his stick, so we shouldn't have an icing call coming here. Puck going down into the corner. Canes grab it and carry it behind the net. Everybody's standing flat-footed and they weave around him. Anaya makes a poke, gets it over to Lane. Lane's going to carry the high slot. Puts on the brakes and tries to get it to Anaya, but can't get control. Schroeder gets a stick on it, goes high. Goes Okyabrski, who's going to try to dump down into the corner, but fans on the pass. And they're able to clear it right back the other way. Icing call coming here. 10:40 left in the third. Come on, Reed! Waldron, McPhee, Doss, Robinson, and Anthony on the ice. Waldron wins the draw over to McPhee. McPhee loses the handle on it, tries to play it forward, gathered by the Canes. Waldron gets a stick on it, uses speed to gather it behind the board, send it back around. Canes able to gather it and poke it around Robinson. Try to come forward, met there by Anthony. Anthony gets a body on him, but still able to get around him, over to Casalito, kicks it wide. Robinson gets outbeat behind the net, and they send the puck in and send it in the net for another goal. Sends the draw back to Anthony. Anthony tries to send it forward, but it goes off of the leg pad of the Canes player. Carried forward by Robinson. Robinson tries to find McPhee, but plays it too far outside him. McPhee able to chip it back down into the zone with Waldron in pursuit. Waldron does the stick lift, ties it up down into the corner. Waldron has the puck there, tries to get it to McPhee. McPhee's going to get together. Tries to make a drag. With the hustle of the Canes, they're out beating him again. Able to send it forward to the neutral zone, back to Anthony. Anthony over to McPhee, tries to make a drag forward. Loses control of the puck, but he's got two guys on him at all times. Anthony helps tie it up. McPhee gets it there. This is to Waldron. Waldron to Doss. Doss going to try to gather the zone. Doss going to have a chance for a shot and a glove save by the goalie. Got the running clock, 8:40 left in the third, 7-2 Canes. Draw won by the Canes. Pickpocketed by DiLorenzo, who carries it into the corner. Meets some traffic there. Puck still tied up. Yellen comes down to help. Canes come free and gather it behind the net. Carry it forward into the neutral zone. They send a shot on the net that's kicked wide by Casalito. Puck played right in front of the net again. Gathered by Yellen. Yellen carrying it forward and dumps it down into the zone. Chased back down there by McLam. McLam's the first one to it. Plays it behind the net. Gets it to Yellen. Yellen with a crosser, but it goes off of the leg pad of the defenseman. Yellen gathers it. Tries to dump it down behind the boards again. Canes able to play it forward and easily carry it out into the neutral zone. Carried untouched into the zone. Bring it down in. DiLorenzo gets a stick on it. So tied up behind the net. Hoover's there to tie it up. Hoover comes up with the puck. Sends it forward to McLam. Too wide for him. Canes send a shot that goes right on the net. Goes off the neck of Casalito. Carried forward by DiLorenzo. DiLorenzo gets far enough in to dump it. Goes off the Canes stick anyways. Puck down into the corner. Play it forward, too far for McLam. Gathering and get the punch turn outside, and they send it forward to Wolf. Goes off a Wolf stick. Hoover tries to play it forward, but the puck gets intercepted. She's able to recover and chip it. They pickpocket Lane there in the neutral zone. There's going to be an offsides on the Canes. 6:20 left in the third on a running clock. Canes 7, Raptors 2. Canes win the draw. Able to play it forward. It goes off the stick. Goes right to Lane. Lane gathers the zone. They're able to take him down. Play it back out to neutral zone and carry it forward. They sweep around Oktiabrski. Oktiabrski gets that back and able to chip the puck. Gets it to Anaya. Anaya's able to play it forward to Schroeder. Schroeder can't but keep his stick on the puck. At least pursues it heavily. Gets it behind the net. Still scrapping behind the net. Try to play it out, but it comes to Oktiabrski, who's going to be able to keep it in. Plays it back down to Lane. Lane trying to swing it all the way over to Anaya. Anaya's back down along the boards. Anaya gathers and sends it right in front, and the puck's loose, so nobody's there. Didn't quite make it through to Schroeder's stick. Schroeder was on the back post in the right spot. Just didn't make it through. Trying to play it forward. Oh, and they drag it right over the shot that goes wide of the net by the Canes. Anaya chips it forward. Gets it to Schroeder. Schroeder's going to play it forward to Lane on a nice unselfish play. Gets over to Lane, just makes it drags, and come back to Schroeder. Back to Lane. Lane gets tied up with a chance of the shot, and they can't finish it. Puck's behind the net to Schroeder. Another play where the Canes just out-hustled us. Catching up and chipping the puck. Hollingworth makes a play forward to Anaya. Goes too far for him. Canes able to gavel the zone and dump it. Raptors making a change. Oktiabrski not able to clear, but ends up able to get the play to come back to him. Oktiabrski's going to carry it forward. Carries it through some guys, gets tangled up. Tying him up along the boards. Send it back to center. Goes off the stick of Waldron. Back to Anthony. Canes are able to play it forward. Tied up there by McPhee. McPhee gets a stick on it. Comes back to McPhee. McPhee dumps it down into the zone. Gathered by the Canes. Punch turn to get outside of Waldron. Well, they're able to chip it forward into the neutral zone. Try to send it around Anthony. Anthony can't quite clear. Goes off the stick and along the board. Send it back down into the corner. Waldron tries to send it back up the net to McPhee. McPhee looking for Doss, but doesn't pick his head up to send it there. Just sends it there too far in front of Doss. Waldron tries to clear it into the neutral zone. Able to get into the neutral zone. Canes bring it back down in. A little bit too far for the stick of McPhee. Anthony plays it forward into the neutral zone. Trying to find Doss on the cross. Canes sweep it over and get another shot that goes wide of the net. It's down to Robinson. Robinson's going to be able to play it forward to Doss. Doss clears it up into the neutral zone. Pure domination by the Canes on puck possession today. Able to play it forward into the neutral zone. Met there by Anthony. Chipped out by Waldron. Off the stick of Doss. The Canes able to dump it down into the corner again. Raptors in the middle of a change. Anthony tries to clear, but gets tied up in the corner. Make a chance around, try to clear it in front, but it goes behind. McPhee tries to play it out, gets pickpocketed. Anthony on the fan, but still ties it up there. Felmley able to play it forward. Raptors finishing their change. On the ice comes McLam. Oh, can't quite keep it in. It goes off his skates. Going to enter the zone and on offsides. 2:10 left on the running clock. 7-2, Canes. Back along the boards by the Canes, regathered by them and taking it up in to the top of the circle. Punch turn back along the boards, goes right to him with the play in front of the net. Glam tying it up along the boards. Able to get enough to get it to Felmley. Felmley chips it into the neutral zone. Felmley loses his stick and the Canes able to play it back down to Wolf. Wolf carrying it behind the net and swings it back around to Felmley. Felmley playing the crossover. It gets a little bit too far for McLam, but McLam in pursuit. Down into the corners, the first one to the puck. Plays it back to DiLorenzo. McLam sends a shot towards the net. Canes defenseman able to gather and send it outside. Clear it up the boards towards Hoover. Canes are able to gather it and get around. They make a nice little dump play over to the corner with a shot that goes wide of the net. Canes trying to clear, or the Raptors trying to clear. Canes gather, bring it back down for a shot that goes off the shoulder of Casalito. Wolf able to send it forward to Felmley. Felmley trying to clear but can't get it out. Puck goes off and Wolf goes down. Carrying it right in the zone after another turnover. Find in the top corner. 8-2 with 27 seconds left. Canes win the draw, dump it down into the zone with 2 seconds left. That's going to be the end. The Raptors better decide tonight if they want to show up in the morning and play. Pretty poor effort across the board by everybody. Came out early and scored 2. And gave up 8 straight. Back at it tomorrow, 6:45 a.m.